Lindsey Graham spoke to God for the first time today. Lindsey, I'm curious. Did it go how I told you it would go? Did you stand before God with your Make America White Again shirt and I own the libs, I own the libs, Jesus, let me in? And God said, hold on a second, dude. Who are you? I don't know you. Hey, Lindsey, just curious, as a senator for how many decades, what did you do about gun violence? Because you see all these thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people that died from gun violence. You said that you served me, that you were pro-life, and you didn't do one thing to stop gun violence. Hey, Lindsey, you see these people over here? Yeah, these were the officers that died from suicide from January 6th because you ignored it and you voted for that guy. What do you want to tell them, Lindsey? Hey, see these little girls over here? My children? Yeah, these were the 170 schoolgirls that Donald Trump murdered in Iran, and you didn't say a damn thing about it, Lindsey. You don't follow me. Oh, hey, Lindsey, over here, these are the 80,000 people from Gaza that were murdered by Benjamin Netanyahu. Why didn't you say anything and stand up for them? Oh, hey, Lindsey, you see these women over here? These are the women that died of sepsis because you told them that they have to listen to you to deal with their body. Lindsey, I give people free will, and you took it away. That's why you're not a follower of mine. How about this group over here? They died from lack of health care, Lindsey, and you wouldn't push universal health care. How did that go, Lindsey? But I own the libs. What's a man and what's a woman? I made sure 10 transgender athletes, Jesus, didn't play in college sports. Is that how it went? Hey, I made sure men weren't going into women's bathrooms, Jesus. And what did God tell you? Lindsey Graham, you voted for a president who raped a woman in a women's dressing room, and you said nothing. You voted for an antichrist. You served Donald Trump, not me. You cannot serve two masters. That's exactly what happened, Lindsey. Was it worth selling your soul for white trash people? For Donald Trump to kiss your ass? Was it worth it? For this short little time that we're here on earth versus eternity? And every single one of you, MAGA, you're going to be asked these same questions. Just like Lindsey Graham. And all you're going to be stuck in with God is culture wars. And all this bullshit. Own the libs, libtards. And you're going to answer all these questions that Lindsey did. Why didn't you speak out when Donald Trump put up memes of the Obamas as monkeys? When he called women fat and piggy and made fun of disabled people? When he took people's SNAP benefits away and they starved to death? When he took away their health care and you stood by and said, own the libs, own the libs. And you went to 40, 50, 60, 80 Trump rallies, but you wouldn't do one thing to save a life of a child murdered in a school by a gun. That you loved a firearm more than God's children, because that's what you people are. Just like Lindsey Graham. You're modern day Pharisees. And you all complain about Zoran Mamdani, a radical left socialist. Jesus was a democratic socialist. And the fact that you don't see that is exactly why you're not Christians or people of faith. He literally gave people free food. Thousands of them. He cured people that were sick. He put the guard's ear back on. Literally had dinner and forgave his enemies. Even when the dude was dying. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Oh my God. Oh, he's a radical left Democrat. And you rejoice the cruelty and meanness and misogyny and white supremacy. And Donald Trump wouldn't even rent to black people. Literally is actively defending men that molested children. What are you going to tell God? James Tellerico, he didn't know how to eat ribs. He was a vegan. That's why I do what I do. Because these people are not Christians. They have crapped on the name of God in the name of their religion, which is Donald Trump and MAGA. And I pray that every single one of you one day, that if there's any way I can have a bucket of popcorn and sit up there while you're on Judgment Day with your Make America White Again, with your 6 teeth, and I'm going to have you and listen to every one of you respond exactly to what I said. And God's going to say, why didn't you listen to that Paul guy? Why was your pride so deep that you couldn't even listen to constructive criticism? Why did you hate the Democrats so much? Why did you put a tampon on your ear and claim that I saved the rapist, but I didn't save the man that was murdered behind him? But you wouldn't do a damn thing for children murdered in schools with a damn gun. And every election cycle, you ask yourself the same question. Am I better off than I was? I told you to love your neighbor as yourself, and you only voted for me. And you voted for what? Money. The root of all evil. That's what you voted on. Now that Paul guy, he sure in the hell wasn't perfect. God knows that I'm not perfect. But you know what Paul did? He fought for people that he didn't know. He fought for E. Jean Carroll. He fought for the girls in Iran. He fought for the people that were murdered in Gaza. He fought for universal health care. He fought for everybody's self. And even in the 2024 election, Paul voted for Vice President Harris, knowing that his taxes would go up. You know why? Because Paul gave a damn about his fellow Americans. He loved thy neighbor. And the only person you voted for was you and your damn paycheck. That you cared more about a bigger paycheck than a president that rapes women and molested little girls, very likely, on Epstein Island. That's who you are. You can join Lindsey Graham right next to Jeffrey Epstein. You have 2 choices, MAGA. You can keep up this crap and own the libs and go to your Klan rallies and date your sisters and inbreed and live your lives like miserable losers that you are, or you can listen to my words. You can listen to wisdom for once in your miserable white trash lives. What's it going to be, MAGA? Are you going to continue down this path? And just for the record, you're never pro-life. You've never been pro-life. Because once the baby's born, you don't care if the mother dies of sepsis. You don't care if Donald Trump molests the girl on Epstein Island. You don't care if Trump rapes the woman in a dressing room. You don't care if that child dies after January 6th from suicide. You don't care if that child is bombed by Donald Trump in Iran. You don't care if that child is murdered by Benjamin Netanyahu in Gaza. You sure in the hell don't care if it's murdered in a school. You don't care if it starves to death. You don't care if it has housing. And you sure as hell don't care if it has universal health care. So shove your pro-life right up your back ends because nobody's buying it. It's your choice, MAGA. You were warned. Have yourself a good day.